Damn!
You got to ask permission from the
I'm in your arena, innit? This is an away day. You know what I'm saying? I said away at Old Trafford.
Screaming,
Come on,
yo.
party and then, man.
Fam. I'm saying Playboy Clarty. Bruv, that show is hilarious.
Listen.
Bro. Does the shoe fit? You seen it?
I love Harry Pinero, man.
HP the sauce.
Good. And that whole show, yeah, I know we're probably going to get into a conversation because I'm a nerd in it and I'm proper like watch content. When I watch that show, I'm like, this is why TV is miles behind the internet. Because when you think about it, Foot Asylum is a footwear brand, or it's like a sportswear brand, but they've managed to get four of the biggest personalities. I'm not even gonna lie, I don't think Conan's that entertaining, but even on the show, like, he had to have personality in it.
Yeah.
And you got Chunks, Philly, Harry Pinero, and it's like, rah, this shouldn't be funny because there's so many dating shows, but for some reason, there's just something about this one that connects differently, and it goes down to the personalities basically sell the program.
But yeah, I don't mind Conan in it though, because he adds them one words, and you end up laughing just reading one word.
100%. And do you know what it is? Yeah, sometimes you don't need big personalities throughout the whole thing.
It clashes sometimes, isn't it?
Young Philly will shout, and you will hear it from flipping.
Man's got a mask on.
You'll hear it from Sydney, Australia, bro.
Fact.
Chunks obviously got his thing. Harry's got his thing, but if like it's just too much energy, sometimes it's like, okay, cool. You need somebody to kind of like balance it out. And low-key Conan does that. So and because he's a rapper, people are just gonna
be drawn to him and stuff. But the thing that's what I said with that. With Conan, he brings back to the man them. Like behind the scenes, he's hilarious, bruv. Like when he was like, "What? Do you want sweets when I got shot for you?" Like, he was like, "I don't follow big man. Don't follow big man." Like you get trying to say he
don't come on YouTube to follow.
I love him, man. Like he brings that like man them back. But yeah, for the ladies, I can't lie. For me, the star lineup, like the MSN is HP.
Man said MSN.
Messi Suarez Neymar is gonna be HP, Playboy Carti. Then you got Chunks. Then you got Young Philly. Then man,
do you know what it is though? It's a thing where. Because obviously every season they swap it around. Should I bring it closer? Because every season they obviously like swap it around. So I think before they had like Jack Fowler. Yeah. They had KSI from God knows what reason.
Who's Jordan again?
They had Jordan from Love Island.
But that was okay dead, nah?
Do you know what I did
the best
like?
One was gone.
I do like the other series though. The only one with KSI was a bit because KSI is, I ain't got nothing against him, but it's just why. There's no reason for you to be there. Like to me, he doesn't really contribute anything because he's just there with his shades and he's like, I don't know, he didn't really contribute anything. Yeah. And I think every once in a while they're going to have to switch it up because then it's going to become formulaic and people are going to expect. So I think Chunks and Philly should be the main two.
I think they are.
And then the other two should be swapped and turned or like, you know what I'm saying? Just to keep it fresh. But that's just me from a content perspective, innit?
Nah, but I think going back to your point about that whole thing about like, you know, TV miles behind, you're totally right because TV ain't got that flexibility.
100%.
Like TV can't record, produce and have it done like within a week.
Listen, so I was on Clubhouse yesterday just really randomly and I was in is it called a party or I was in some house and then it was talking about breaking into the TV industry and like production and stuff. And then for you to get something commissioned, it has to go through so many different channels, so many like different layers of command, and before you can even get approval to film, before you know it, 6-7 months has passed. And it's like, if you're somebody like me that's itching just to pick up a camera, even now we're recording a podcast, I'm pretty sure you're going to turn this over in a day or two and boom, it's already distributed. Whereas with TV, and I understand why, there's so many different layers and it's like, it's very bureaucratic and it can be quite annoying because it's like, especially in a generation where everything is just instant. What TikTok, boom. What don't rush challenge is like very, very
even
instant.
Fleet, bruv.
But then does that not annoy you in the sense that, because with me, for example, like if I can't do something and then I have to slightly wait for permission in the sense to do it, I'll just be like, I can't be asked to do this.
That's the thing, and that's why like, well, I'm 25 now. I don't know what generation I'm in. I don't know if I'm Gen Z or just the one before. I think I'm on the cusp anyway. But like people younger than me, they have shorter concentration spans. Yeah. They want immediacy, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. That's a whole nother conversation, innit? But it's like nobody wants to sit around and wait for a TV show. Nobody watches TV. If I want to watch that, if I literally come from here and I go home, I go on Netflix, I'm like, I can watch The Crown, I can watch Kevin Hart's new special. I have everything at the click of a button, but nobody's waiting for 9 p.m. on Sunday night to watch the brand new episode of Downton Abbey. That's the like over 50s and
even EastEnders is a bit watch nice. It's on 9 now.
If you're watching EastEnders in 2020, you have a lot of problems, bro. I am so sorry.
Bro, I can't lie. Lisa's low-key lit, bro.
You still watch it?
But I roll people that watch it, innit? So like when I'm around them, and I was like, okay, cool, but I don't watch it religiously.
I'm a Christmas EastEnders guy. I ain't watched the whole year, but Christmas Day,
I'll be there.
I'm there, fam.
Roll up.
I'm watching it. I don't know
what happened. I'll speak to people before what happened.
Yeah,
but I'll roll up.
Fam, just for the TL as well. That's the thing. But yeah, that's just where content is right now, and I feel like the gatekeepers or the powers that be need to start letting more young people in, because realistically they're so out of touch.
Do you know what's fucked on that topic though? It's the fact of like that's in everywhere, you know. Like in every industry you go to, you've got, especially when you look at the working or 9 to 5 world, it's mainly white males that run certain industries.
100%.
And I'm sure probably the same in the entertainment industry.
100%.
Like, bruv, you've got these like guys who've got the MBE, CBEs. They've done a lot for a certain community, but it doesn't relate to the younger generation. And there's something that we call RTC, which is called resistance to change. The fact of that, like when you try, it's a bit brazy, because especially culturally, like bruv, imagine a young youth who's got no like CV experience telling you what to do.
It's a slap in the face. It's a slap in the face.
And people can't handle that. But they need to understand, like you said, that bruv, we know what's popping. We know I ain't got the CV of like written down, but I've got life experience.
110%.
I've got youth experience in this generation, which you ain't got. You're born in 1975, bruv. Martin Luther King was still alive when you're born. Do you know what I'm trying to say, bruv? Like, and it's crazy. Like when you talk to my pops and stuff, like fam, man are born in like the 60s, so they've seen Civil War, they've seen stuff like, it's crazy, bro. Like
Tim Westwood's probably 50 then as well. It's mad,
bro. That's even a man still doing dagger that with 16-year-olds.
Boy, Tim Westwood is an interesting character. To say the least.
That's my guy, though, fam. Croatia, though. It was good times, man.
Oh, that's
Croatia
crazy.
2018.
Yeah.
Man said Fresh Island.
Fresh Island.
Best holiday of my entire life. I can't even go into depth about that holiday.
The holiday was good still.
The life that I lived.
I went twice. I went 017.
Yeah, you went 017. I went 017 view.
Yeah.
Then we went 018. You went by yourself.
Yeah.
But yeah, for me, 2017 was lit. Like that was my last holiday. I think that's the best way to like debut. Say start on the pitch. Like that was the first time.
Man said got call up. The manager calls you. Like warm up, you coming.
That was the perfect game. Like you know, like your first debut, like United or something against United. That was a good game.
Get some minutes in, game time.
Yeah, but it was cold. Some of the scene. I don't know where you stayed, but like where we stayed, we had like you come out of the apartment, the complex, and all you see is the view, the sea, the mountain in the background. And the man wakes up, because you got Edmund in it. So man wakes up to just see like the garbage, like the bed on my floor, like just rubbish in my area. Man's waking up for a good 7 days to see that. I'm like, this is a life.
Fam. Like, Croatia's a beautiful country, man.
Yeah.
Beautiful country. Like with me, as much as I love London and like I love the culture of London and like how multicultural it is, I don't think I can live in one place forever.
Yeah, no, I get you.
Because the way that my mind is set up, and because I'm quite a busybody, I like to just be around. One day I might just wake up and be like, oh, let me just go down. In a couple of days time, oh, let me just go LA. But you see Croatia, I like scenery. So talking about what you said, I don't know. I'm trying to think, how far was Zurcher Beach? I was like 20 minutes away, 25 minutes. But we had, we had like motorbikes in it. Fell off that too many times.
Bro, I've got scars till now. I've
got a scar. Fam, remember,
brother, the story that I have here. Okay, let me not digress. But basically, it's a funny day. So obviously, like Fresh Island was the Tuesday, Wednesday, and the Thursday.
We
got there on the Monday night, and then we stayed to the Sunday, right? The World Cup. Anyway, so it got to the Saturday now, and like most people are kind of gone home, but we decided just to stay for a couple of days, just to do tourist stuff, to chill, relax. I said to myself, you know what, man's in a different country. Let me go get a massage by the beach, fam. Picturesque music, you can see the waves crashing, you can see everything in the distance. I thought, this is beautiful. Anyway, the woman's putting her knee in my back. It's a sensual massage. I'm thinking, this is amazing. So imagine, I hop on my bike now and literally everything is loose, my body's all smooth and that. And then, do you know where like the strip is, where all like the burger spots were?
Yeah.
So like, for some reason, I had to go through that direction. I was by myself in it. And then they had hella black people there. Like I'm talking 70, 80 people just like on the strip, buying food, drinking. This is about 3 p.m. in the afternoon. And then I'm riding a motorbike now, and a pedestrian has come into the road without looking at oncoming traffic. That's the one moment where my left-hand brake decided to not work. So like literally, if I didn't swerve the bike, I could have KO'd this brother completely. Like he could have been completely KO'd. So anyway, I've gone for the left brake, stopped working, swerved it, crashed into a coffee shop. Roly-poly. In front of about 80 people. Blood all grazed up my knee. Helmet fall off. Bear in mind, I just come from a massage. Back all hurting, trickling blood everywhere. and literally all I could hear in the background was just people laughing.
Bro.
But no, deep it, yeah. It just before I finished, there was another motorbike kind of like guy about to get a motorbike in it. He saw my crash. He said, "Boss man, run my peas back. I want a ped." Fam, the most.
Oh wait, did you have a motorbike or a ped? What did you have?
I had a motorbike, but I mean, he wanted like a what's the one with 4 wheels?
Oh, the quad.
The quad. That's it. He said, "Boss man, I want a quad."
Yeah.
When he saw my crash, he said,
Yeah.
Nah. The embarrassment to this day, I can see the look in there. Was so many beautiful women.
Fam.
My one was it was me, you. The 2017 I had 2, so I had one in 2017, one in 2018. So one in 2017 was me, you, me. I think 2 other boys in it. So we all ride. We was all on pens in it, and then we was all going to Zurich Beach, and then basically I can't explain. There's a long road where it's just basically forest. Before
I know where. Yeah. Before you turn left, it goes downhill. Yeah.
So we're on that long road, innit? And the way it is, I think my ped's the fastest because there's nothing wrong with it. So I'm trying to go in the front, but Misha's in front of me. So Misha doesn't move to the side.
Yeah, I see this one.
Misha doesn't move to the side, yeah? And I'm thinking he's going to move to the side. So I speed up. This guy doesn't move. I crash his back road. The way I'm skidding is stupid. I'm skidding down the road like, I got a scar here. If you saw my trainers.
Done out.
Yeah.
Serious.
Gone. So that was 2017. Now 2018 was stupid. So again, we went down the hill now. And then do you know there was a toll booth thing where it goes up and down, innit? So obviously it's opened up for us. We've taken bare long to like river up and go through, and it's come back down. My boy's behind me. He's licked his helmet, just dropped on the floor.
That's crazy.
But you know what it is, yeah? It makes the experience better. Yeah. I'm not even gonna lie.
Do you know what? For my one, do you know why it was a learning curve? I said never again. I'm doing peds again. Even though I did a ped in that beefer. But it's like, bro, I can't ride bikes normally, innit? So the balance thing, I'm already fucked with that. Like I'm already struggling with that. So I remember it was us, man, and I know Alex, innit? Alex.
Yeah.
In his squad. So us being stupid, yeah. I think we're doing a race, like the person back or something. So you know, like when you're busting a corner, you're meant to go like out then in. But I thought, fuck it, let me just like try to undercut these man and just try to do the short way. Bro, man tried that. They come this way. I'm going to collide to them. I think someone clipped me. But word to your one, I literally skidded from here down the road, bro.
Fam.
And bro, what made it scarier? You got to think, I skidded sideways. So the bike's on me when I'm skidding. So I'm literally skidding like this with the back on my leg. Broski. But I tell you, yeah, it's by God's grace that man didn't have nothing.
Yeah.
Bro, so obviously, word to your one, my shoe, pinky toe hanging out, my skin, pinky toe hanging out. Hey. Imagine, and things you got to think. I had the tough.
If I got a picture, I'll put a visual.
Like you got. Okay, my story ain't even that bad then.
Yeah. You got to think. Yeah, I've got the tough Air Maxes, bro. The ones that are chunky, worn through, bro.
Anything can go through Air Maxes,
bro. It's peak as well. You got to think as well. Yeah,
crease in the middle.
Blood, man had like a scar here, dickhead, scar here, and bro, I think what hurts the most was that, you know, when you hear the girl say, "Ooh, is he alright? Ooh," and I'm looking and thinking like, like this is an embarrassing.
So did you have to go to hospital and that?
In where?
No, my one I did though.
Yeah, because obviously like
my one I did.
I'm Nigerian, bro. But
I'm
it's got a bit alcohol.
Apply rub.
Apply rub.
You're good to go, fam.
My one I did though. What's good? I'm not applied alcohol. I think Jason did applied alcohol, but then no one like, nah, your one still, it looks mad. Still go hospital. But obviously I had the European like health card.
The healthcare team.
So I went to the thing and then I got it for free.
Shout out the EU.
Yeah, well, the thing is though, you're right. It adds to the experience because even though we say this, I'll still get put more.
Do you guys get your deposit back?
Yeah.
Because they had to take our passports in.
The way we done it though, we dropped the bike, said give us the money. The way we moved.
Because you got to think, my plan that day was so fucked. I dropped like 3 times because the axle was fucked. So like I couldn't hold it straight. I had to hold it like this to go straight.
Low key, I feel like a lot of them were dodgy anyway. I feel like, I'm not saying that they're criminals, but they obviously, you know, they're coming from England, we might have a little bit more money. So like, if the ped is a bit booky and they come back and say, oh, the brake's broken, 300 kuna or whatever, how much it is. Fam, do you see that kuna? Listen, I spent money like I thought I was rich, bro.
Yeah, because I had a grand.
See that zombie drink?
Yeah.
That's my drink.
I think I spent like 3,000, bro.
Bro, that's my
drink. Where did I get 3 bags from?
Yeah.
On the holiday. That zombie out. Babes, what do you want? Zombie, run it.
Yeah.
You zombie, run it. But you see the wave? Oh, Father God.
I think the settings for us as well was when the pre-drinks for us, we get our pre-drinks, us lot, yeah? And then once we come to the beach, zombie, I saw you're done for the day.
Brother.
That's what I say.
We need that in England. I don't know what is in that drink. but we need that in England.
It's like a Peng Long Island cocktail, Long Island tea.
Fam.
It had everything. It was sweet. It was, and for the whole day, it will pattern you. Like you have to pre-drink.
Fam.
Come sober, get the zombie.
You're good.
You're having a lit night.
First motive after Corona, whenever the hell that is. Listen, I'm down in 5 of those.
Yeah.
Straight 5.
Yeah.
I don't care how I get home.
Because you know what?
Somebody will help me get home.
Because that's what we were saying before. Was like, listen, we like traveling, but this Corona's fucking up the vibe, man.
Brother. It's annoying, man, especially in my industry as well, because like I feel like I picked the worst time in human history to be a freelancer as well.
Man.
Because literally 3 weeks, no, not even that. So when was the first lockdown? It was like March times, innit?
Mm-hmm.
And I left my job like the last week in February. And obviously February is only like 28 days, 29 days because of leap year. I left my job now. Like, right, I want to be a freelancer. I want to do presenting, consulting, music. I had bare things like in the pipeline, like loads of projects. The week after, Boris is like, right, we're going to stay at home, protect the NHS.
Don't stay home. Don't stay home.
Go to work. Go to work. I'm like, cool, innit? So I did like a couple freelance bits in that week, and it's like, cool, the whole country's locked down. I said, brother, how am I gonna make money?
Yeah,
I just left my job, so I can't go on furlough.
Man.
I can't. So I literally sat at home for like the whole of lockdown, thinking, bro, money's just leaving my account, and I have no way to get money in. But like, bare freelancers were probably going through that, but it's like not like an ego thing or a pride thing, but it's like everyone thinks that, oh, if you're a freelancer, you're busy, you're up and going. But it's like, nah, bro. I was sat at home thinking, if I don't get something in the pipeline, I don't know when. I don't know where my next paycheck's coming from. Yeah. And my account is slowly decreasing. Like it messes with your mind as well. You're thinking, do I have to go back into work, or how am I going to apply for jobs? What people are being made redundant? If I send my CV, they're going to ask, why did you leave? Like, it's just, it messes with your mind. So like, Corona needs to listen. It needs to go, man.
Do you know what though? Talk on that though, because it's like, as a freelancer, because like, what is that experience for you? If that makes sense. Like on a normal day and in COVID times, what is that to you? Because I spoke to people who love the freedom of it. Like, man can like work when I want to work, get paid when I want to get paid. Like, I do what I want to do. Like, I can turf projects down. Whereas a 9 to 5, you're getting told what to do. You ain't got a choice on that.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, like you're saying now, it's like, bro, when things get tough, you got no security. So
100%.
talk on that, like,
do you know what it is? I feel like, especially with Twitter, I feel like everybody wants to be seen as like a business owner.
Yeah.
Everyone's got CEO in their bio, and it's like the in thing to be, look at me, I started a new business.
Yeah.
And I'm not hating on anyone, but like, what you see on Twitter is very different to the day-to-day running of a business or being a freelancer, because it's like, bro, if you don't go out and find opportunities, or if opportunities don't present themselves, you're going to be sat at home, twiddling your thumbs, looking at your ceiling, doing nothing. Before you know it, 3 months have passed, 4 months have passed, and if people aren't checking for you, you're not consistent, people won't care. Because like, I'll use myself for example, I think we might talk about it later, but I did YouTube for a bit, but I weren't consistent with it. So now if I jump back on YouTube again, which is going to be very soon, I'm going to have to build up that audience again. And it's like, when you're a freelancer, it's like you have to go out and do work. Whereas if you're on a 9 to 5 job, you know that you're coming in, or you have certain tasks, and you know at the end of the month, you're getting X amount of money. You're going to have a certain amount of, you're going to get your payee. Yeah. You're going to get your salary. That's it. But if you don't go out and work, you won't get that. Yeah. But at the same time, if you are busy and if you are, meeting the right people, connecting, you can make more in a day than you could have made in your monthly salary. And like with me, I charge a fee where it's like, okay, cool. If I want to do consultancy, if I want to do presenting, if I want to do modeling, if I want to do writing for someone, I have a certain fee, which means that I won't have to think about, let me just do this 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. Yeah. Whereas I can do one project, make my money, and then tomorrow I can chill and not have to worry about, I need to pay for this, I need to pay for that. So I think the main thing is just consistency and knowing what it is that you want to do. And I think I've had a good couple of years of kind of like trying my hands at little different things. And now I know exactly what I'm good at, what I bring to the table. And I know where my area of expertise is. Yeah. So when I charge a certain fee, I'm like, well, I have done X, Y, Z. I've done all of this. I've gained all this experience. So I don't even need to prove myself. I'm like, take it or leave it. Because end of the day, if you're bringing me on board, there's a reason why you wanted me here in the first place. Yeah. But like, the freelance life is very, very hard. And like, don't make the jump until you are fully secure. Yeah. Or like, you're fully ready for it.
Like, don't make the jump just based off like, always Twitter. Don't see other doing videos with Davido and I think I want to be like
Don't do the impulse thing, fam. Don't do the impulse thing, because it's
crazy, innit?
Just be smart in it, because end of the day, obviously nobody expected a global pandemic to happen.
Yeah, that's the mad thing.
But it's like, don't get gas because you see what's it called, Y Bleach selling cakes on Twitter and think, oh, let me start doing
But that
cakes.
happened though. Do you see that? He starts selling the sprinkle cakes. Everywhere I go now, people are selling sprinkle cakes. Kind of thing.
For me, like, don't get me wrong, yeah, business is business. Like, look how many trainer companies there are, how many hat companies. Like, there is definitely a market, but like, I think you need to find your own lane,
your USP,
and you need to find what makes you unique. Like, everyone thinks, ooh, this person's doing that, let me try it. And it's like, but are you actually doing it because you want to do it and you're passionate about it, or you just see, right, my man's making money from it and he's meeting this person and that person, and you want to be just like him? And I think everything should just boil down to passion. I do what I like because I'm passionate about it. I can talk from today till tomorrow because it's what I love to do.
And the thing is as well, it's like, if you do it for passion, when things aren't going right, because I think a lot of people just look at like in the podcasting, a lot of people look at the free shots, oh, they're doing lit on Spotify, let's all do a podcast now. But these times, you don't know what they've gone through. That if they say some of their stories, but like, you don't know what the bad times, even for us, man, we've had bad times. There's times I've been like, fuck this shit, do you get what I'm trying to say? But like, you still gotta like push hard because it's your passion. You enjoy doing it. 110%,
man.
You get what I'm trying to say? You love to do it.
110%.
And the thing is with that as well, it's like, I think one thing I realized is your story or your like, little speech there was like very common and very similar with other freelancers. And one thing that I've always found difficult is like the confidence thing. Because especially when you say you price yourself, bro, how do you price yourself? Like how do you go out to a brand and say, yeah, you want me to do this? I cool, it's worth $5.
Do you know what it is?
Like, it's brave. I think it's still brave till now.
Even now, like, I have massive imposter syndrome in it.
Yeah.
But the way that I move now, I walk into a room, and even if I have that imposter syndrome, I still know I'm that guy. And in the back of my head, I carry myself with that confidence. And it's weird, yeah, because there's a non-British thing to not be confident. British people are like, let's be humble. Let's you know, let's not talk about money. But end of the day, like, I've got a credit card bill that needs to be paid for. I've got, like, I don't drive at the moment, but when I do get a whip, insurance, like, you're not going to pay me an exposure. This ain't the NHS where you're going to clap at your doorstep at 8 p.m. You know what I'm saying? Run my money, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, I think because I've worked in certain organisations and I've been able to rub shoulders with certain people, like from working at Sony and doing stuff at One Extra and just meeting other freelancers, I've seen certain contracts and I've seen the money that they have. I've seen the budget. So I've been obviously very fortunate to have been working as like a production assistant. So I was the one making the tea, doing the running. Yeah. So I was kind of doing the background stuff before I decided, okay, cool, I want to come in front of screen. And because I had that knowledge and I had that understanding, what, my man's getting paid that? Or like, well, you're paying X amount for a Calvin Harris video shoot. Swear, cool. When I come to do my negotiations, I'm like, cool, you want me to come to you, but like, if you were to go to the dentist is not going to be like, okay, cool, you know, thank you for coming, see you later. Like, you're going to pay a fee. When you go to Starbucks, you know, you're not going to say, oh, can I get a mocha with coconut milk? And then he's going to hand it over to you. You're going to pay money. And it's like, knowledge is money. Facts. And like, even now I'm wearing Menir Devoir, and I'm not even paid to do any promo for them whatsoever. But I follow the guy, Reese Wabara, and like every time he tweets about business and stuff, and he's like, listen, there is a price on information, and the experience that he's had from football to starting up the brand, it has a price. Like, there are people that are making stupid money from selling ebooks, from doing motivational speaking, from doing like guest appearances. Like, that is a whole stream of income. And I feel like, I don't want to say it's a black thing, but it's like a British thing to not speak about it, because it's like, you don't want to offend people, and it's like, oh, I really want to work with you. It's like
you're bragging kind of thing, isn't it?
You really want to work with them, but it's like, oh, but if you're not going to pay my money, then boy, I might have to go elsewhere, or I might have to say no. So when it comes to pricing, I'm just like, look, in the email straight away, I'm like, okay, cool, what's your budget, or do you have budget for this?
That question is really vital,
because
isn't it?
End of the day, that's how you can get twanged as well. Because like, if you don't say that, they'll be like, oh, he did that for free. Let me ask him again, and for the next project, he still don't ask for money.
Or the worst one is you're doing it for free because you're thinking, okay, I'll do it for free now for exposure. But then when you try to negotiate, they'll be like, you did it for free last time.
Bro.
Like, it's mad, isn't it?
I've been
that happened to you, actually,
Yeah, fam. So like, I'm 25 now, and I started doing radio. So I lived in Luton for a bit, random. I lived in Luton for a bit, and then I started doing radio when I was like 13.
Oh, man.
I was mad hungry, bro. Like, when I say I call myself a creative nerd, innit? Because I pay attention to everything. So like, I was listening to One Extra and Choice FM, like Trevor Nelson, Twin B, and I heard him. I was like, I want to do that. So ever since then, I'd always research, always find stuff out. So then I've been in this, so like, that's like nearly 12 odd years now. And then gradually I'd be doing stuff at Represent and One Extra and stuff. And then after a while, I was like, well, I've got all this experience of course I'm gonna charge, because if I don't,
Yeah.
I need to make a living. It's just a given. And I think people need to sometimes remove emotion from stuff, because it's like, I can know you on a personal level. We can have a great relationship.
Yeah.
End of the day, business is business. Do you know what I mean? So even now, like, I do contracts with people and I'm like, you can be my friend, but I want emails. Don't DM me. Send me an email so I can have proper correspondence, so I can, you know, reference the time we spoke and have, I don't know, things just have to be professional, innit?
Facts.
And I think that's just the approach that people need to start taking, because yes, you can be close to people and yes, you can be friends, but then sometimes, what's the phrase? You can't mix friendship and business. Or if you are going into business with friends, just do things in a professional sense, because that's how things can low-key get fucked up.
Yeah, because no, as well.
I was going to say, even within us, it's been sometimes we've taken our emotion as friends, and then it's kind of, we take it into our business perspective, and then we have to then talk in the business perspective, and then we have to sort it out like that. But yeah, I was going to say, in terms of like you're giving your price, etc. as well, I think it's your CV, so your experience as well. So like, and I think it's a lot of people. I think one of my friends who's just jumped on a freelancing wave now. He said that whenever he tries to put out his work and he asks for a fee, people always like to him like, "What have you done?" He says what he's done, but he's like, "Can you prove it to me now?" Then he's just like, "My CV's there." Like,
yeah, man.
To touch, like whatever, I'll do it for free.
It's jarring.
But you know what I will say though? One thing I will say is that, like, I think a visual CV, like a video or like of your portfolio, is a lot more effective than a written CV, because like because I'm more for engineering background. You get what I'm trying to say. So what I've seen engineers on their CV, they've worked for the biggest companies and done some mad projects that are in the millions of pounds, but they've been that person who's in a massive team just doing the little dots in the eyes, or reviewing the document. So it's like I can get that. Like, man could have a mad CV, but when I chat to you, the vibe I'm getting from you is dead, fam.
100%.
You get what I'm trying to say? So why should
writing CVs, yeah, job applications are the worst thing in the world, fam. Because obviously, like, I'm still freelancing, but recently I'm like, you know what, I might just get a job for a couple months just to like.
It's the life, innit?
You know what I'm saying? It fluctuates because you never know what way the wind is gonna blow. But like, my personality and the way that I speak and the way that I come across, I have a certain energy. And even though I have a journalism degree, so I'm actually very good at writing, I can't give you my full 100% personality via a one-page document. Or I hate writing cover letters, bro. Every time I see a cover letter, I'm just like, you know, I'm not doing this application. Bro. A whole me write a cover letter, and not even to brag, but it's like, fam, I'm lit. Actually sit down, and I understand because there's a recruitment process. Like, bruv, some people put out a job and they'll get 800 applicants, so I get it. You can't sit there and speak to everyone, but like that CV is 3% of my entire personality. If you see me and you speak to me, the engagement that we will have will tell you everything you need to know, as opposed to, oh, in 2013, I did this. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like, especially with the pandemic and like people losing jobs, I feel like the way people recruit has to start changing, because there are a lot of talented people that are getting overlooked because they probably see the name at the top. It says Orelua or some next Nigerian name. That's
actually a true fact.
Boy, one of my boys is a recruiter as well. And like, he just shows me sometimes how quickly they will literally look at a CV within 3 seconds. They will determine whether or not they want to put that person forward. And it's like, that person could have put time, energy,
weeks
effort,
sent to people to reviewing that, and they
won't even get an email back, you know.
Yeah,
that's the worst thing.
Yeah.
If you don't just email me back to say you've been unsuccessful, so I can know. But like, just to air you, nah, man. The job game is crazy.
So you know, man, job game. Do you know what I've always said to people? Yeah, was stick to your strengths. I know it sounds so cliche, but be yourself in any industry. Because when I was applying for jobs and I tried to be a certain person, try to be the book smart, the nerd, the engineer, bro, I was getting rejected left, right, and centre. I got rejected left, right, and centre. Do you know what? And do you know how I clocked the game? I said, fuck it. I'm lit as a person. I'm smart. I got my degree. I got a first class. So I'm not stupid. Like,
come on, talk your things, bro.
I love, bro. Even though I may feel stupid, I know I'm not stupid on paper, innit? So cool. I remember I had an interview for a job, innit, that my boy plugged me with. Did I prepare? No. Was that stress? No. I literally got out of bed, phone interview. I was just like, it was at 9:30. I got up at like 9:25. Yeah, hi. Been myself, bro. The guy was like, I like you. Come to the office next week. Go into the office. Got the job, bro. Yeah. It's crazy, fam. Like, where I think people need to recognize, like, there's certain things where it's like, just be yourself in the process. And if you don't get yourself in that process, you don't get it. It's not for you.
Do you know what it is? The working world is a myth as well.
It's mad.
Sometimes you get into these companies and you like obviously doing the application process thinking, I really want this job. You get there and just like,
It's like,
right,
this
this
ain't
is
what I
bitch, you know.
Yeah.
Like, this is why, like, genuinely, and it's not even that I've got some sort of complex. I kind of don't like being told what to do.
Facts. Yeah,
and like,
same.
and it's, I don't want to dig a hole here, but it's like, the type of personality that I have, yeah, and obviously I'm in the creative industry, so I'm like a butterfly in it, and I'm not, bro, the pride is a mad thing.
It's a mad, I can feel that pride already.
You come into work and your boss is telling you, or your manager saying, all right, do this, do that, and I'm like, I don't like the tone in which you're speaking to me, you know, but because it's a professional setting,
you got to hold
I can't, like, not G-check you, but I can't address it in the way that I'd like to. And after a while, yeah, if you have that for a certain amount of months, I just don't need this wahala.
Depression.
What's a whiz kid? I don't need no stress. I just can't be bothered, bro.
And especially in the white working world where it's, on the British working world where it's like there's a lot of passive aggressiveness.
Oh,
bro. Or the thing is, as mentioned my prior email. You know, emails are.
If I
see, the amount of time I read emails, I say if I don't slap you,
fam.
I'm trying to say.
And then what's it called? The microaggressions as well. It's just like, I'll never forget. Yeah, and I'm not gonna name the company, but it was a media company that I worked for, and then there was this white woman. Yeah. Okay, cool. There's a white woman. Obviously, I'm a black man from inner city London. I grew up in Hackney. I talk a certain way. You know, when I'm around my people, I feel comfortable to speak 100%. In a certain way. If I want to switch it up, I can code switch very, very easily. Like I can go really British, really eloquent if I want to, but I don't speak like that on a normal basis, innit? Anyway, we're talking about a particular artist, just in like an open setting, having a normal conversation. And then this, when you ball babe turns around and says, why do you talk like that? Why do you talk so ghetto? And do you know them ones where the whole office just goes silent at that one moment? And I was like, in this moment here, right now, how I respond to this could determine my future in this company. Yeah. And I had to bite my tongue. I said, my darling, unfortunately, you don't know anything about me. You don't know me as a person. So I think you shouldn't say things like that. And then I walked away and I went to the toilet. But if that was in another setting, I would have told her to locate the nearest straw and suck herself. You know what I'm saying? But it's annoying because it's like, so because I speak a certain way in this working environment, bearing in mind we're talking about black music, you're telling me I speak ghetto, and it's like, you might as well just call me a hard ER. You might have just called me the N-word, because it's like, and she didn't even realise that what she did was like, mad. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's like, they almost make you feel annoyed for feeling a type of way, but it's like, they never fully understand the way that they make you feel. Yeah. Wagwan.
Hi guys.
Wamp Chargy.
Oh, sorry.
New hair.
Hi guys.
I'm screaming.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Wagwan, my darling. How are you? We good?
Yeah.
I'm here before you at your own podcast.
Sorry. We're gonna delete that.
No, we're not.
I know. Sorry, delays, trains. You know, pandemic.
Yeah, but kind of, because on that topic of like passive aggression and microaggression in the working world, I'll never forget what happened to me with you know Ewa. You don't know, you know Ewa. Beans.
Yeah.
Oh.
So imagine that, you know,
beans and Dudu.
Yeah, beans and Dudu. Ewa and Dudu.
My friends, someone said we eat that all the time, but everyone eats that.
Yeah.
It's
like a meal.
So people don't know what it is.
Beans.
It's like basically it's black eyed beans, isn't it? And then like it's just like they think they boil it, make it stew. But anyway, the point is, I remember my auntie made it for me.
Sorry,
I remember my auntie made it for me. And I took it because I was working in Birmingham at these times, innit? So I'm thinking I've got a whole pot full. I'm blessed.
I already know where this is going.
I've got that, that care package. Like, and I really get that as well. So I'm taking it to work. I'm loving that. So I warmed it up here. Then we've got some new placement students coming to the organisation. Obviously, Tom, Harry, the usual names. Bro, I warmed it up. I bring out the microwave, and I'm like, got my fork. I'm like,
bless you.
You know, I say Jesus is there, man. I'm thinking I'm gonna chop this thing up. I can get bread as well.
Remember, I can get bread to work. I rate you.
I work.
The hell?
Wait, you think I'm scared, blood?
Wait, I work.
No, in the sky.
No, but I get the bread is fine though. It's just bread. Like,
but you got, but guys,
I cover the English.
Wait. We had agege bread, beans and dodo.
No, let me say the dish. So the dish was agege bread with beans, dodo, and gizzard as well.
Nah, there was no way you were gonna do work after that meal.
Bro, what makes it worse?
What
makes it worse? My appraisal, they said to me I sleep too much at work. That's actually brazy.
They
but
said you sleep too much.
My appraisal, but that's another stuff for another day. But back to the back to the canteen, yeah.
What's wrong with the man then?
But
But back to the canteen, yeah. There's so many sides to this story, but back to the canteen, yeah. So you got to think, I got my fork there, I'm lit. It's out of the microwave, it's warm. My white colleague comes in. He looks at the food. He looks at me.
Oh my gosh.
Ask me what he says.
Oh,
Ask me what he says.
What's that smell?
What's that bang bang jerk chicken food?
I know. Ask me what he says.
What's he say?
He says to me, I hope you don't feed your dog that.
Listen, we got a scrap. You got a scrap.
Can
Bro.
we have a break?
Bro,
Anthony Joshua, Tyson
Bro.
Fury, black versus white.
he said to me, I hope you don't feed your dog that.
So then he said, I'm sorry.
Listen,
Wait?
listen, I won't lie to you. What I said to him was that, you fucking bastard, just shut the fuck up.
Is that what you told him?
Facts. Fam, like, what else can I say?
No, facts.
Man said to me, I hope
HR
this
not
is
even
my
enough.
code, and you got to think because it's a small organization. So my HR manager is my general manager who hates me. So it's like
That's another thing about the work culture, you know. Because
yeah.
going to HR is like they don't really care because they don't really understand you anyway.
And you got to think, I was a placement student, the only black person in that organization. So it's like there's already like, you know, she really doesn't like me already. So it's just like, bruv, if I go to HR, what's she gonna say? He's only joking. He's only come on.
That is not
like,
a joke.
fam,
That's like telling. No, I know if you told him that, I hope you don't feed your dog that.
they'll laugh. They'll laugh.
No,
No, I don't think
It's
they
their
would laugh.
culture.
I think they will take
They'll laugh.
The thing is,
They
the
will
work.
I
laugh.
think they'll laugh.
The
Do you know
thing,
what
no,
it
the
is?
thing is in the work. If I can say the thing
That's
in the
not
work
a funny
culture.
joke.
The thing is, it's different culturally because there's research done that says and shows that BAME people are the second highest for offensive banter. So after women, black people, Asians, we get.
But
like,
we are the ones that receive it.
Receive.
I thought you said give it. I was gonna say
No, we receive like banter that's offensive the most after women because it's like they think everything's funny. Do you get what I'm trying to say? They'll come and say you fucking got a small dick and they find that funny, bruv. They'll be drawing dicks on books and think it's funny.
Fam, I don't even want to talk about soggy biscuit, but you know them. Do you know what it is, yeah? What I've realised, and like especially with the kind of headspace that I'm in right now, yeah. White people like to gaslight us a lot, and they don't even realise they do it.
Yeah.
They think
So
it's a
even
joke.
so they'll say things and they think, oh yeah, we're just bantering. Even like recently with the Sainsbury's stuff and the black family,
Oh my
the
gosh.
fact that is such a, and I'll use it on your board, hullabaloo. It's like, big man. So what are you trying to say that black families? Because there's, I'm not going to use a blanket term, all white people, but
Yeah.
because a lot of them think, oh, there's no fathers in our lives, or they're so used to seeing us in dysfunctional settings, whether it be crime or like cleaning jobs or like a subservient type role. So just to actually see, to me and you guys, a normal everyday family of just people that happen to be black. Oh, this isn't representative of a country. White people are now the minority. But then they've got a carrot one for Aldi.
Yeah.
Argos had an alien family
blue one.
last year. And then when you look at like the Black Lives Matter stuff with diversity, the fact that, do you know what makes me confused, yeah? People that actually write to Ofcom to complain about stuff. Because if I saw something that pissed me off, I'd just turn the TV off.
Yeah.
Turn the channel.
Turn the TV
But
off.
it's their culture. That's their culture.
You actually took time, like back in the day, they used to write letters as well. So they would write a letter to PO Box, whatever, ITV. Oh, that black man on TV that took the knee. I'm like, you are so jobless,
That's how you
fam.
know the racism is strong.
But the thing is, they don't actually understand all, and I'm not even trying to make excuses for them, but they are so ignorant and they're so used to Britain is a tolerant society, this, that, and other. And I'm like,
number one.
all of you should suck your mum with a Capri Sun straw because I don't have time for it.
But then I go back to what we said in the previous episode where in London, you think it's bare diverse, and if you go outside of London,
Yeah,
it's
facts.
mad. So
Facts.
then-
Okay, bro.
No, go
No, I was gonna say. I think what pissed me off about that whole Sainsbury's thing was that if you look at the longevity of the Sainsbury's campaign, they had a different family for different weeks. So I think the week after was a white family. So it's like the fact that people were so racist and so irate within a short space of time, they couldn't even say, hold on, let me see what's going on here. Let me be tolerant to see what's going on. Man said you saw black. No, black people. We're getting taken over.
But when it's Top Boy, oh my god.
Oh yeah, they
I
wanna
love
be
it.
like us. I love it.
Oh my God, Top Boy is-
But the thing is, though, do you know, I think it's a generational thing because I think the younger there's still younger people that are racist, but a lot of the like 35, 40-year-olds that are like Caucasian of older generation, their ignorance is just too high. I feel the younger generation are a bit more like because of pop culture, because of
I'm not even gonna cap. I don't think that's.
Do you think?
Nah. So when I lived in Luton, yeah, really random again. When
that's a different area.
I lived in Luton
a different
from
area
like
as well.
2004 to 2012. Actually, I lived in Luton for a very, very long time. So that's how I know Mills. Actually,
Oh,
yeah, Mills, Racks. That's how I literally I know all of them. So the time that I lived in Luton was when the EDL started.
Yeah.
So like English Defence League, which is like a right wing organization, but like a right wing group of like white men. You know, what's that? St George's flag Twitter and make England whatever again. And then like white guys from my secondary school, like in my year group, went to join the EDL. So they will go on the marches saying N-words, Nazi salutes. And then this is on a Saturday, a Monday morning, I'm bucking them in maths.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is algebra. And I'm like, this is actually madness, but nobody's thinking about it. And it's because like their parents and the people that they are around, it's like an echo chamber, innit?
Yeah, yeah.
So if their parents are saying, oh, look at that smelly nigga, or it's like, or using like racial slurs here and there, it's like they don't even realize that they are being conditioned into thinking in that way as well. And it's like from generation to generation, they are always going to have, it might not be as bad as before, but it's still bad. You know what I'm saying?
I think the filter going down like through generation to generation is going less and less.
No.
That's what I was saying. I think
it's good. The filter's going down.
No, it will keep, because if you hear it from your immediate family, your parents are using racial slurs and stuff like that, passing it down to the kids will think it's okay. They'll pass it down to their kids. They'll think it's, do you know what I mean? Unless one of their kids break the cycle, they're in society.
But then on the flip side of that,
like
then on the flip side of that, black culture's going up. The filter is going slightly up.
Yeah, I feel like we think the black culture's going up, but I just don't think it's as big as it is just yet, because everywhere is still clearly racist. I mean, look what's happening with the Sainsbury's advert. People are calling Ofcom. Or even with the whole diversity thing, you know, when they did the dance thing on Britain's Got Talent, that one even went crazy. Or even the recent thing with Tesco, when the black lady.
There's so many examples, man.
There's so many examples. You get what I'm saying? The black lady was in Tesco, was in the advert for Tesco, and they cut out her part with her black partner.
But that's because the same backlash.
Yeah.
They did that for the same backlash.
So it's just like.
But you know what is that?
I mean?
I think what he was trying to say, and I do agree with, is that like, and that's what I said earlier before, was that if you look at the older generation, the percentage of people who are racist with their chest would probably be about like 85%, just a ballpark figure. If you look at the younger generation, I'm not saying it, but it'd be like 50%. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And that's what I'm trying to say, that like as we're going down and with time,
the percentage
fingers crossed, and I agree with you, like it's not going as fast as we want it to go with. But then there's something that stuck in me that I heard was that you got to think about it this way. Martin Luther King was in the 50s, 60s. That was only like 60 years ago. In history, that is nothing. Like 60 years.
There are people that are still alive that were on that Selma Bridge with him. Like, it's crazy.
Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, bruv, like my dad was alive when Martin Luther King got shot and stuff. Like, he remembers them kind of stuff. Like,
Westwood was alive.
Do you get what I'm trying to say? Facts. This guy lost in Westwood.
No, I love. Listen, I like taking the piss out of people, man.
But
I reckon I want to be cancelled in the next 3 years. You know, genuinely.
But it's the fact of like in history, like when you think of like slavery, 400 years, like revolution, hundreds of years, like 50 is literally nothing in history. So that's why we're still face to face with it today. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
I think people are less, maybe they're not really outspoken racist also because
they're
of
passive.
The
Repercussions.
Do you know what I mean? Because they know the backlash that they're gonna get. So I feel like that's another way of deterring people from being racist openly. But I don't think that's the reason why it's less in like our age groups. And
I
stuff
genuinely
like that.
think.
I still think there's still racist. Sorry.
Not unpopular opinion. I genuinely think racism will never go away.
It won't.
Genuinely,
Yeah.
the
It's a
moment
mindset.
like this country is, you know, the national anthem for goodness sake is God Save the Queen. God Save the Queen. Like their way of think. This is a British country. Like the majority of this country is white, and yes, we live in London. But if you go to like Cheshire or if you go to Lancaster or like places that are so quay out, you will actually see that there is a complete contrast in the London way of thinking or like an inner city way of thinking.
Yeah.
And those people will continually have more children, continually condition their children to think a certain way. And it's like, even when you look at the makeup of the government, like they always vote conservative. And me, I'm not a Labour supporter, but when I looked at Jeremy Corbyn, some of the things and the policies that he wanted was to make things more inclusive and to allow minorities and women and like often disadvantaged groups to be part of the conversation. But this country will forever vote for the Tories, whether it's David Cameron, Theresa May, Boris Johnson. Boris Johnson is a bum. Like, the man doesn't actually do anything.
Worst.
Like, he has the scruffiest hair, and like they will still vote for him because their way of thinking is like he represents our right-wing values, you know, Britain first. I'm not saying like he's a complete like nationalist, but like their way of thinking is like we want to protect the Britain that we know, which is white, before we allow Jeremy Corbyn to, you know, let all these black people into the room or let all these women into the room. Like, we want it to be white, old men, and we don't want it to change. So it's like until that glass ceiling is smashed, and I don't know if it ever will be, we're just going to be having the same conversations over and over
and you know what?
again.
I think if I'm being real, like, I get the whole point of like awareness, like we should spread awareness, but I think I'm tired of spreading awareness. Like, let's just do something. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, but I'd rather, and that's why, like, I say to these men all the time, like, bruv, what? And that's why even the whole topic of like retweeting spread awareness, to me, it's just a bunch of, like, in my terms, bullshit, bro. Like, you're retweeting, okay, but then you're going about your life doing the same thing that doesn't change anything. Like, what are you doing physically to change the situation?
But retweeting stuff does help though, because you're, you know, spreading awareness. People are reading stuff, and then they want to get active and stuff like that and help out in society. So I think it does help. No?
I think a good example of, I'm not discrediting it at all, but I think with our last guest, so Zina, she basically did a protest for Congo's bleeding, and she was getting like 4,000 retweets from. When it came to the protest, only like 6 people came. And for me, like, I was telling her, like, yo, that's still a good thing. Like, yo, these people still came. But I can understand the frustration when it's like, bruv, on social media, you're getting 4,000 retweets. You're getting bare people commenting, yeah, lit. Congo's bleeding, going everywhere. But then when it came to the action, people were just saying their yards. Now, I'm not saying that it's by force you go protest, but do you get what I'm trying to say? I can understand why some people, including myself, would just be like, you need no pressure, but we need to do more.
Do you know what it is? I think it boils down to money as well, and who's financially backing you and who you know in positions of power. Because it's like, so in America, for example, yeah, because I studied like A2 American politics, I don't even know why, but like in America, the NRA, which is the National Rifle Association, even though they're not like a political party, they have so much power. Like, they could realistically determine who the next president of the US is, because they fund and put so much money into the Republican Party, and it's like they want the right to bear arms. Because, like, let's say what's his name, Bernie Sanders came in and said we want to get rid of guns. The NRA will be like, nope, we're going to put money into the Republican Party. We're going to campaign, and we're going to make sure that he's never going to get into power. Donald Trump's going to protect our rights. And then when you bring it back to the UK, for example, or when you bring it back to political movements, you basically need people that can financially support and put money into the pockets of decision makers, because, and we all know Nigeria is very corrupt. The reason why a lot of these people are in power is because, you know, they've either been paid off or they've been funneled money underneath the table. It's like, oh, if you could put this policy in for me, you can hold a couple M's here. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's like, in order to really rally support, you need to have people in positions of power with integrity, but you also need to back that up with like money and actual finances. But it's going to take some time, because when you even look at UK BLM, I want to make sure I'm saying the right one, but one of them raised like over $1 million. To this day, we don't know where the money's gone. You don't know who's
There's one that's
using the
owned
money.
by Jewish people.
Swear.
There's one that's owned by Jewish people, like a Jewish couple or something.
Yeah, somebody tried to, like, somebody that's not black tried to trademark
the BLM.
Black Lives Matter UK, and it's just like,
but
all these little holes. It's like,
but I'm gonna say to that though, bro. Do you think that's the not ignorance, the lack of education within our community, or do you think that's just the evil heart of the other community?
I wouldn't say
I don't think it's evil, but
I think it's evil.
I think it's
not
both.
really, I don't think it's evil. I just think they just didn't think about it. It's not thought. They just.
The white
I
man
don't
didn't
know.
think about trademarking our name. I think
Jewish people. I don't know. I don't think, because you can't say it's evil. We don't know if they done it maliciously, but yeah.
I think if it was good intention, you would advise someone from the black community, yo, you should trademark this thing. I don't think you do it yourself. Why would money go to you? Or what? Because now it becomes that white savior complex. That, like, again, we're seeing like we need the white man's help to do this. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And I think it's a bit hard to say, and I know I'm a bit harsh. Don't cancel me, but it's like, I do feel like there's a lot of like the resource thing. There's a lot of lack of, I won't say education, but it's lack of awareness on how we should do things.
But I don't think it's our fault, you know.
I'm not saying it's our fault.
Yeah, because they've got like a 400-year like head start. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
that's true.
And the fact that, even I'll use my industry for example, the fact that for years on end, like, rappers had to change their sound. Like, I remember when Wiley was doing things like Wearing My Rolex, and Skepta was doing some funny odd music. That was a funny.
EastEnders girl.
So I'm saying, oh my god, the Priya or something, innit?
Remember that? Yeah.
Fam, some of Skepta's songs are terrible. But it's like, now you can have a Lowski that will drop a tape, and he's talking about drillings, and it will go to number one. You have a Heady One so it's like, even though they've had the head start and they haven't put money into us in the past, like, we're like, okay, cool, we're just going to do it our way, and we're going to do it unapologetically. And then bringing it back to the original point, it's like, in terms of like the political world, or like having actual influence, because the powers that be are white, because they are the ones in control, and realistically they know that if black people really do rally together, they see us as a threat. they really do see us as a threat, because it's like, I can't remember what the phrase is, but like something about putting something in a book because the black man won't read it.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, so it's like they keep things within their circle. They're happy to break bread with their own. But the moment you break bread with a black man and he goes back to his community, and then he tells this guy and he tells this guy, and they've got their own infrastructure and their own like an ecosystem, next thing you know, the black man is gonna rise to their level, and all of a sudden they see them as a threat. And then
like
by the time it hits 2050, they're like, rah, we used to run this, but now people don't come to us, people come to black people. And it's like, they're obviously not saying it out loud, but they're in the back of their mind thinking it. They're like, we're just gonna suppress you and keep you in this little box, and we'll give you like a little 5% and make you feel as if you're involved, but really and truly we're chopping the other 95. Do
you know what, on that, yeah, that's what they call social engineering. And a good example of that is even, like I said, the music industry. Like for me, seeing Headie One going number 1 is an achievement, it's progress, but it's not enough. Like I won't be happy until man sees the equivalent of like a UK black owned label that owns these black artists that are doing it properly. Because you think of Headie One, he signed to a label. Who's the label owned by? Most of the record labels are owned by a Jewish family. Like for Atlantic Man Codes, so you probably know more than me kind of thing. But it's just like, when we're seeing Headie One, Tion Wayne and they're doing sick things, don't get me wrong, but it's like, you said it yourself, they're probably chopping the 10%, but then you got to think the people behind the scenes are chopping way more than that. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, it's still the fact of it's improving, but we still need the approval or the investment of a white black-owned company before a black icon can be lifted up fully.
Yeah, man, it's the way the structure is, man. And it's like, it's annoying because when you look at the charts, and even if you don't even like, you can listen to, like, a prime example I use is Mabel. Yeah, so before, and I really like Mabel's music, before she really popped off with Finders Keepers, she was doing like alternative R&B, like this kind of next kind of futuristic sound. Next thing I know, she's got a tune with Kojo Funds going, yeah. Bruv, her thing skyrocketed on the next level. That went to number 1, platinum. And then after, like, I'm listening to her music and I'm hearing like certain drum patterns that she weren't putting in her music before. And it's like, that's an Afro swing record. Ed Sheeran, Shape of You, is his biggest song ever. One of the most streamed songs of all time, like 1 billion streams. That is an Afro swing record. Because when I listen to Young Bane do the remix, for me, that sounds more natural than Ed Sheeran on the original. And it's like, now they've clocked that raw. Even Drill's the in thing. I'm hearing like Anne-Marie and all these other artists jumping on Drill records because they know that creatively, we black people create amazing stuff without even trying. And it's like, when you go into these labels and you go into these meetings and you sit around and you're looking around, you're like, okay, you don't look like me. You don't understand my way of life. You don't understand where I've come from. I'm not saying you need to have a table full of black people, but you need to have people in the meeting room, people making the decisions.
Representation.
That actually because like Flam, I'm trying to think. If
Digger... Flam.
That's Flam. If you go into a meeting with Digger D, with all due respect, I don't expect Malcolm from Portsmouth to try to talk to Digger D about, do you know what I'm saying? It just doesn't make sense. So a lot more needs to be done. And to be fair, in the last couple of years, like a lot of labels, like smaller labels have popped up. So I can say like 2K Management have got a label, Since 93 have got a label which is black owned. Obviously Stormzy Murky Records, and like AJ Tracy doing things independently. So it is starting to change, but at the same time, it's like, it's very bureaucratic, and until they see numbers, they don't care. But then again, it's business, because they want to make a return on investment. And sometimes they don't even care. They don't even listen to the music, because they're just like, oh, what, you're hot, you're popping, you're getting bare views on GRM. Hey, come sit over here, hold a couple.
But then that's why you're seeing artists like have one track bangers, like J1 got an album next minute. Like it's just crazy, fam.
Or that guy, he was doing Ye, that Ye thing.
On
him. Oh, I say he got signed as well. Because of that thing he did. Yeah, he's a good example.
But you know what? Like on the music thing, why the hosting things like the same?
Hosting.
I'm so sorry, huh? I don't. Oh, the Ush guy, he's not popping.
But
I'm so sorry.
No, it's the truth though.
He's not though. He just got that one hit wonder, and then he got the record.
Do you know what it is
and
though?
Then he went down. He didn't ride the wave properly, you know.
But it's not. Do you know what it is? It's not even his fault, because it happened so quickly. And I think sometimes, like when you're a black, I don't want to make it, but when you have never seen a certain amount of money been put in front of you before, life-changing money, and you may not have a decent lawyer, or you may not read the contract properly, He was like, okay, cool, let me just take it. What? Big labels message me from a song that I just did on Vine or whatever. And you're offering me X amount.
It was not Ali Records that messaged him.
No, it was Columbia.
See, that's a massive label as well.
Columbia got a big, like George Ezra, Bruno Mars.
I would sign that deal, bruv. I know you sing.
Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like,
bruv, what?
And I don't blame him, but at the same time, it's like, you have to think about your longevity as an artist.
And he didn't.
And like, that's why people on Twitter and my friends get on to me. I'm a massive Stormzy fan, not just because of his music, but because of the business moves that he makes. Because you can tell that this is a man who's thinking about 10, 15 years ahead of where he is right now. Whereas a lot of people in this country, or a lot of artists, just jump on the bandwagon. What, drill's the thing now? Let me do drill. What, grime's the thing now? Let me jump on grime. What, Afro swing? They just jump from here to there. And it's like, you don't actually know what your sound is. You don't know the thing that makes you unique. Whereas Stormzy, the reason why he is arguably, not even just in black music, one of the biggest stars in this country, he's just authentically and unapologetically himself. And he only does things that he wants to do. That's why he can go on Glastonbury and do whatever, or he can go to the Brits and say F Theresa May and F the Daily Mail, because he's clocked that I'm the person in power and my talent is the thing that's going to make all these people money. So you're going to come to my table and then we're going to tell you what we want to do. We're not going to get invited to your table and you're going to give me 5% here, 10%. But it takes a lot of balls in it, because a lot of money gets thrown on the table at these artists. Like big 6-figure deals gets thrown at these artists. Yeah, man.
I wish I could say.
Because the thing is with that as well, like it's what we said earlier about how you need to know yourself, be confident in yourself, and I think the people around you need to have the right management as well. Because
100%.
It reminds me of, even though he's a bit cancelled for now, Davido, when he was gonna do that.
Please.
When he was gonna.
Don't worry, Dutch.
Yeah, like,
Dutch
let me clear my throat.
Yeah, screaming. But 0, 0, 0.
You smoking the city or burning?
I know, but
you know that's a minor she would get back.
But on the things though, why I say bring it up though is because where he wanted to do that remix of his tune with
JB.
with Russ and his sister. So someone said to me, they were like, bruv, this just goes to show that Dutch wouldn't be anywhere if it wasn't for his sister.
Steph London.
I respect it.
Because
100%.
Because the thing is, the advice that she was given, even though it can be seen a bit rude, she said to her bro, like, man was like, but the Russ gets better views though, like million views, exposure.
So
she was like, chill. This is for big man tune. You need the Mr. Fedor, and it makes up, because when I won't lie, if I can't imagine seeing 0, 0. Like, don't again. Like,
if I scream at this moment in time.
But if I see a Fedor missed, or Fedor missed Dutch, that's triple threat. I'll be like, what? That's a serious tune. Let me just, I'm trying to say, talk like this when I want.
Steph London's a real one for that. And obviously, like, he's very lucky to have a sister who's obviously been there, done that, you know, worn the t-shirt, got the caps and everything. And this is why, like, because I do a lot of music consultancy, and like a lot of artists come to me and they want to be rappers. They see Crep Conan selling out Ali Pali and doing this, and I'm like, sometimes you need to chat to your boys and be like, music might not be for you, and that's fine, but there are jobs as publishers, as managers, as executive producers. Like, there is an infrastructure now where you don't necessarily have to be the person making the music, but you can be the person around the music. And I think a lot of people now need to stop trying to be in front of the camera. A lot of people need to stop trying to be the presenter, the main person, because it's like, with all due respect, not everyone needs to be a rapper. Not everybody needs to be a baller. Do you know what I'm saying? So like, when I give advice to people, I'm like, listen, I get why you want to be a rapper, but really ask yourself if you're good at it. And I think a lot of people are deluded to a certain extent because they believe, like, I'm going to be the next big thing. My brother, no, you're not.
And the thing is,
how do you tell the person that they ain't going to be the next thing? Because obviously there's like, on a friendship level, you could have a friend that's trying to do their thing.
I will literally say to them, like, do you respect my opinion? If you respect my opinion, would we be having this conversation? And I'll be like, I'll keep it real with you. I'm not going to tell you to stop doing music. This is your passion. This is what you care about. But I do think you should explore other avenues just to be wise, just to keep your options open. And I'm not saying, you know, I don't have faith in you, but at the same time, you don't want to be like certain men that are pushing 35 and they're still flogging their mixtape outside High Street Kensington, because people used to do that all the time, like sending mixtapes and stuff. And I'm like, sometimes you need to just walk away from certain things. And I'll give you guys an example. You might not know this, but back in the day, man used to sing, you know. Like, I actually used to sing. Like, I proper wanted to be a singer when I was like 15 years old, because I had a 1-2 vocal. I used to rap as well. But then I realised, and maybe because I'm very self-aware.
Drop a 16 right now.
Boy,
F64.
listen, man.
Gone.
I'm gonna have to send the invoice off.
Buying the jukebox. Buying the jukebox. Exposure on that.
I'm gonna send the invoice. No, but literally, one day I was like, I'm not good, man. I was just real for myself. I'm not good, but I am quite charismatic. I'm very good at holding a conversation. And then at the same time, I saw Reggie Yates on TV doing like all this presenting stuff. I was like, right, I could do that, you know. And then from that moment onwards, it's not necessarily in the same field, but it's in and around it. So I can present music shows. I can present a radio show. So I'm still involved in music. I've just kind of like switched the lane, but I'm doing something similar, but different at the same time. And I think a lot of people need to get out of, this is the one thing that I want to do. If I can't achieve it, I failed in life. And I see it a lot with a lot of guys in football as well, man, because I know a lot of talented ballers, but at the end of the day,
that game is fucked.
To make it to the Premier League or to even make it to League One, like you need to be in like the top 5% of ballers in the entire country. And it's not that you're bad, it's just that the level is so high that you're not there. And I don't know if you're going to make that gap. And that's why maybe go into coaching or maybe go into being an agent. I don't know. People need to stop trying to chase the dream. And I'm a big dreamer as well, because I want to achieve big things in life. But you just need to also have a hint of realism as well.
Do you know what? The thing is, I would never ever tell somebody not to do that, because you hear the stories where people that have made it have said, my own boys doubted me, my own family doubted me. So I'll never tell someone not to achieve their dreams. I think you got to adapt to your dreams. And I think as well, like, it's like, back to what we said earlier, but you just got to know when to say no. You know what I'm trying to say? Because it's not everything you must say yes at. It's not every opportunity you need to come and grab.
100%.
Oh, so, okay. I don't. You didn't got the joke. No, so it's fine.
No, I didn't land. Don't worry.
Carry on. But anyway, the whole
I said crickets.
Wait. You went like this is.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, but obviously, it's this situation where it's just like, yeah, it's just a situation where you like you need to like know yourself and you need to adapt yourself. And I think people need to also understand that like you can make money other avenues. The great examples. Look at Flips. Flips don't rap, but Donny is making money from his boy being part of that team. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And I think another thing as well that I've learned is like, man does poetry. I can write poetry, but I'm not gonna do that as a full-time career. Just because you can sing or because you can rap, it doesn't mean be a rapper, you know. Like, do you get what I'm trying to say? You can really, that can be your talent, that can be your side hustle, that can be something on the side, but it doesn't mean that should be your like full-time.
Bro, if you look at all the big rappers in America, yeah, and like the ones who have invested their money really, really well, like Jay-Z, for example, I'm guessing his portfolio is just crazy.
Yeah.
His music, as in, and Jay-Z is one of the greatest rappers to ever grace this earth, right? His music and the money he makes from music is probably about 10% of the money that he makes. Innit? But then he's obviously, and Jay-Z's been in the game for years on end, but he's made money from clothing and Douce and putting money into this NBA team. And I think people need to start moving like that and thinking, okay, cool, yes, I'm a presenter, but at the same time, if I invest my money here, I can make X return in a couple of years, like 50, for example. He invested in, was it vitamin water or whatever it was? Yeah. Bruv, he made like millions of like dollars, but we all know 50 Cent from In the Club, you know, Get Rich or Die Trying, but he was smart enough to say, okay, cool, I was a rapper, but I'm not going to be a rapper forever. Let me go do executive producing for stars and let me do power. Like, you have to start diversifying yourself. Rihanna, for me, is one of the greatest business women in the world. Yeah. Just business people. I don't even want to say, because like, even now, the fact that she's not making music is a great market employee, because everyone's like, Rihanna released. Now, because she's doing Fenty, Puma, Fenty Beauty, Savage X, because she's not even doing the thing that people know her for, the demand for her music is so sky high. So when she does drop her music, everyone's going to flock from it. And obviously she's been in the game 15 odd years, but I think there needs to be more consultants and people advising creatives, because I feel like if you just stick to the lane of, I'm a presenter, I'm a singer, this is all I do, boy, it's going to get techie in a couple of years when your views aren't really popping like that no more, or people aren't really listening to your music like that. So I don't know, I think people need to just be a bit more open-minded and just not close themselves off to other business opportunities, really.
Do you know, I'm laughing because that's a good intro to you kind of thing, because obviously you came here as a presenter.